I'm Jolene Wynn, and this is the Porn Addict's Wife podcast, episode number 159, When You Want Reassurance. I used to think of myself as the wife of a porn addict, but I do not think of myself that way anymore, and you don't have to either. In this podcast, I am going to teach you how to manage your mind and your emotions so that you can stop living your life around your husband's pornography addiction. I am going to teach you how to stop being the victim and how to conquer his pornography addiction, even if he never does. I'm Jolene Wynn. I am a certified life coach, and I am a member of the LDS faith and the wife of a former porn addict. And this is a podcast for the porn addict's wife. Hello, my ladies. Happy Memorial Day. Today is Memorial Day. I absolutely love this day, and I just wanted to say a big thank you to all of you who have served in the armed forces or who are married to those who have served in the armed forces. And I just want to encourage you guys to take today and remember those who have given their lives and sacrificed everything for our country, because that is just such an incredible gift that I think we take for granted a lot. I know I do. And I just wanted to say thank you publicly, and that today is just a great day to honor and remember all of those who served in our military and have lost their lives, and to their families as well. Ladies, I am super excited to dive into today's topic for you. I want to talk about reassurance, but first let's do the calendar, shall we? For all my newbies who are listening, the calendar is what we used to do when I was growing up. When I was growing up, once a week, we would have a family meeting and we would go over the calendar. And it was this big ordeal because there were 7 kids, 2 parents, a partridge in a pear tree, and my parents had to figure out how everybody was getting everywhere, how so-and-so was getting to band practice and who was going to lacrosse, and my sister was really into dance and she had dance 4 times a week, and how was everybody getting everywhere, and who was going to take the twins to piano and all of that. So the calendar is when I let you guys know what's going on. And I have so many things that I want to tell you guys. So here we go. And it's really just so you guys don't miss out. I have so much to communicate to you guys. So here we go. Number 1, I am doing a free coaching call this Wednesday. So on Wednesday, May 31st at 11 a.m. Eastern, I am doing a free coaching call. This is not a class. I do not have a curriculum. I do not have an agenda for this call. This is your opportunity to come get coached. So if you are curious about coaching, if you want to see how it's different than what I do on the podcast, this is for you. If you want to see if you have questions that you want to get answered, then come to the call. If you have something that you're struggling with and you want help working it out, come to the call. You can come anonymously. You can come click on, it's over Zoom. You can come anonymously. You can change your name. You can not have a name on there. You can also just come and listen in and see what coaching is like. This is also great for those of you who are curious and kind of want to join the coaching program, but want to check it out first before you invest. This is your opportunity. This is exactly how I run my coaching calls inside my coaching program. So go to my website, jolenewynn.com. You can go to the Coach Week tab. That is where you will always find information on my free calls, upcoming classes, what have you. That is where you can find the details for this call and register for free. Again, you can come live. I would encourage you to, but you can also sign up so that you get the replay of this call. Okay, so again, that is Wednesday, May 31st at 11 a.m. Eastern, totally free. Go to jolenewynn.com, go to the Coach Week tab, and that is how you can sign up. The second thing that I want to let you guys know is that I am offering one-on-one private coaching. This is something I have not offered in over a year and a half, and I don't know that I'm going to be able to offer it again. As I get busier, as my coaching program grows, as I get more people in the group coaching, I am not going to be able to offer private coaching. And I am able to do it this summer just because my kids are out of school. But starting in the fall, I'm going to be homeschooling all 5 of them again. And I will just be focusing on my group coaching program again. So for those of you who want to work with me one-on-one, now is your chance. I am opening up 5 spots this summer. This offer expires June 1st. We begin next week. I am going to take these 5 clients one-on-one, and we are going to work together all summer long. And then you will get continued access to my group coaching program. So if you know you want to work with me one-on-one, then this is for you. All you have to do is go to my website, jolenewynn.com, go to the Work With Me tab. You will find a little button there. You can go sign up right away by clicking on the private coaching option, or you can email me. If you know that you want to work with me one-on-one and you want to know how to do it, email me, coach@joleneWynn.com. You and I could get on the phone, talk about it, discuss whether the group option is better for you or the one-on-one, and make sure that this is the right fit for you. Okay, so if you know you want the one-on-one, go snag one of those spots today through the website. I'll also put a link in the show notes, okay? But you can also email me, coach@joleneWynn.com. This will give you the opportunity to set up a one-on-one consultation call with me where we will discuss if the one-on-one is the best option for you and how to move forward with that. You can also find all the details for that on the bonus podcast episode I did. Last week, I did a bonus podcast episode called one-on-one coaching or something like that, and you can just go back. It's the one right before this that has all the details and how to sign up, okay? My next calendar item is that in June, I am teaching a brand new class inside my coaching program called How to Not Hate Your Body. I was supposed to teach this last month in May, but I had to postpone it. And so for those of you who thought you missed it, you didn't. This is the best news ever. So inside my coaching program, I am teaching my clients how to change what they believe about their body. This, hands down, ladies, is the most life-changing work that I have done. I did a lot of work on the healing with my husband's pornography. This work that I did on changing the beliefs that I had about myself and my body, learning how to separate myself from my body, learning how to actually change what I believed about my body, not just reciting different things, not just pretending like I believed different things, but actually changing the things that I believed. That was the most life-altering work that I have done, and I'm going to teach my clients how to do it. I'm going to teach that process inside my coaching program in the month of June. So if that sounds like something you guys want, then go to my website, joleneWynn.com. You can join today, join my lifetime access program, and you'll be able to join us for those calls in June so that you can learn how to do it as well. Okay, and then the last calendar item was just something that I wanted to let you guys know about so that you guys can put it on your calendars. My in-person retreat this year is going to be October 19th to the 22nd and is going to be at the beach in North Carolina. I cannot wait to see who can make it. Right now it is open. Several of those spots have already been snagged by my clients, but it is going to open up to y'all in June. So if you know that you want to come to this in-person retreat, if that sounds like the exact thing that you have been waiting for, if you missed last year's in Nashville and you know you want to come this year, then make sure you guys are on my email list so that you can be the very first ones to know when those spots go open, because there are only 14 spots. Several of those have already been taken, and it is going to fill up just like last year. So if you know you want to do that, then make sure you're on my email list and be on the lookout. Make sure that you guys are planning ahead, marking your calendars, looking up flights, getting babysitters so that you guys can come, because that is going to be a 3-day in-person retreat that I cannot wait to see who joins. Okay, ladies, let's talk today about reassurance. This is something that comes up a lot, not only with my clients, but in also with those of you who connect with me on calls or on Instagram. I hear a lot of this of, I just want him to reassure me, right? This is something that comes up a lot when we are struggling with trust or when we are struggling with a lack of confidence in ourselves. When we don't trust ourselves, when we don't trust our spouse, when we don't have a lot of confidence in ourselves, what we want is someone else, in this instance, our spouse, to reassure us. Now, here's what's fascinating about reassurance, okay? What we think we want is we want someone else to reassure something in us. But what's fascinating is we don't actually believe it ourselves, right? We aren't sure of it ourselves, but we want someone else to be sure of it and tell us that they're sure and hope that that will change how we think and feel about it. Are you guys with me? Does it make sense? I'm not sure of it, so I want my husband to reassure me of something, right? It's like I'm trying to trust him, but I want him to reassure me that I'm making the right decision and doing something that's good. I want him to reassure me. I want him to get rid of all the doubt and all the fear. And I want him to be the one that tells me that everything's going to be okay, because I want to believe it, but I don't quite yet. And I just want his reassurance, right? We might even do this with how we feel confident in ourselves. And I'll go through some examples. We might do this in how we have a lack of confidence in how we're feeling. And so we just want someone to reassure us, right? It's like, I don't know that I think I feel good in these jeans, but I want someone to just reassure me. I want someone to just tell me that I look good, right? I want someone else to just say something that will give me the confidence that I'm lacking right now. Does this make sense? Does this sound familiar? Okay, now here's the problem with this. If you actually go to the definition of reassure, it says to say or do something to remove the doubts or fears of someone else. I'm going to say that again. Reassure is a verb. It means to say or do something to remove the doubts or fears of someone else. And this is super appealing in our brains. Our brain really wants our husband, for example, to be the one who removes our doubts and fears. If he would just do all the right things, if he would just go to therapy, if he would just listen to this podcast, if he would just go to the meetings, if he would just admit that he has a problem, if he would just stop watching porn, that would remove the doubts and fears. That would reassure me that I'm making the right decision in trusting him, in staying with him, in setting this boundary, what have you. That's the thing that would reassure me. No, it wouldn't. Your husband, it doesn't matter what he says or does or doesn't do or doesn't say. That will never take away the doubts and fears of you. Do you want to know why? It's because he's not creating your doubts and fears. You are. Best news ever. If you guys came to my free class last week, I did a webinar, a free class called Finding Peace When Your Husband is Untrustworthy. And I taught you how this is possible. Okay? This is how it's possible because your husband is not creating your doubts and your fears. Your thoughts are what's creating the doubt and the fear inside of you. And this is the best news ever because this means that we don't have to wait for our husband to reassure us by doing all the things that we think he should do. Okay? This means that we don't need reassurance. We can be sure ourselves. We can just have the fear and have the doubt, recognize that it's coming from our thoughts, and then we can choose to keep them if we want to or to change them ourselves. And we can feel sure of ourselves and have confidence in our ability to do so because we trust ourselves to make that decision. You guys with me? Okay. This has come up. I always bring up this example, but it's so good in so many ways. When my husband and I had been married for a couple of years, I think I knew he was struggling with porn at the time, but I didn't feel good about myself and I wanted reassurance, okay? I was actually pretty thin. I would think I was probably at my slimmest I had ever been, and I didn't feel confident in myself. I wanted reassurance that my husband was attracted to me, that he found me attractive, okay? I had doubts and fears that he didn't find me attractive. And so what my brain said is that I wanted reassurance that he did find me attractive. I wanted him to do something or say something in order to remove my doubts or fears. So the thing that I decided would be best would be if he complimented me more, if he verbally complimented me. And I asked him if he would, and he started to, and that was the thing that I thought would reassure me. That's the thing that I thought would remove my doubts and fears. But guess what, ladies? It didn't work. I wish it had, but it didn't, okay? He started to compliment me more, and rather than it removing my doubts and fears, rather than it being the validation and the reassurance that I wanted, it actually just made me super annoyed. I was just so mad at him, and I thought the only reason that he's doing this is because I asked him to, and if he really felt this way, and if this were really how he believed and the things that he really thought, then he would have been able to come up with this himself, and it did not reassure me of anything. In fact, it just made me really annoyed at him, and it made me doubt it even more because he didn't come up with it himself. I had to ask him to do it. Okay? He was not capable of removing my doubts and fears. And this was a super powerful lesson for my brain to learn because I was unknowingly trying to get him to remove my doubts and fears, and it's impossible to do. Ladies, I see this all the time. Okay? And I did this myself, just like I told you in that example, especially with trust. Okay? We often, so many of my clients, so many of you guys message me, and I did this too, okay? I wanted him to change his behavior. I wanted him to say and do all the right things that would remove my doubts and fears of his behavior, of his trust. I wanted him to tell me everything, and that's what would make me trust him again. That's what would remove my fears that he was lying. Right? That is what would remove my doubts that he was lying, that he wasn't telling me the whole truth, that he wasn't excluding something or withholding something. You guys ever thought something like this? Is you think that if he just does this thing or he says this thing or he takes certain actions or tells you and lines it all up the way that you think that he should, that's going to be the thing that removes your doubts and fears. That's going to be the thing that reassures you that you can trust him. Ladies, it's never going to happen. I have so many clients whose husbands have been 100% honest for years, decades, haven't been watching porn for 15 years, and they still aren't assured. They still don't know that he's being honest. They still have doubts. They still have fears. Why? Because it's not coming from what their husband is doing. It's coming from their thoughts. So if you are finding yourself wanting reassurance, whether it's in how you look or in whether or not he's being honest, if you want him to just reassure you, then I want you to take this as an indication. I want you to just be super curious and see this as just a tiny little red flag and maybe a yellow flag. It doesn't even have to be a red flag, but just notice this and say, this is an indication that I have a doubt or a fear, and I'm looking outside of me for a solution to that doubt or that fear. So what I want to offer is that you just start getting really curious. What is it that I actually don't believe? Where am I having doubts? What am I afraid of? And that is what we solve instead. Trying to find external assurance is never going to solve your internal doubts and fears. Okay? The things outside of you are never going to change what's inside of you. It's all internal work. And yeah, that sounds kind of sucky sometimes, but it's actually the best news I could give you because it means that you are in control of it. So if you find yourself wanting reassurance in how you feel about yourself, then I want to encourage you to take a look at that and just recognize that it's all internal. And no matter how many times your husband compliments you, no matter how many times he tries to initiate physical intimacy, no matter how many times he turns away when an attractive woman walks by and looks at you, it's never going to be the thing that reassures you. It can never reassure you enough if you aren't sure to begin with. Your husband cannot remove your doubts and fears. Thank goodness we aren't leaving that up to him, because that would be terrible. Because then the rest of us, the rest of our lives, we would have to spend waiting for him to get his act together so that we could then start moving forward. And that is not the case, my lady. Okay? This is not the case for you. The truth is that all of this is internal and it's all within your ability to control. So over the next couple of days, my challenge for you is to notice, just to give your brain the challenge of noticing where you want reassurance. Where in my life am I not 100% sure of myself? Where is it that I look for reassurance from my spouse? In what areas of our relationship am I looking for reassurance? Where do I feel? And then to start questioning it and just notice that it's not up to him. It's actually up to you. And you can take that and flip it and go internal. And you could say, okay, what is it that I'm actually doubting? What am I afraid of? And that is the work. And when you become aware of that, that is when you can start changing it. Okay. If you want help with this, this would be a great thing to come to the coaching call on Wednesday, and I will help you do this. I'll help you figure out where it is in your relationship, in your life that you're seeking reassurance, what those fears are, what those doubts are, and how to start moving past that. Okay. All right, ladies, I love you guys so much. I hope you have a great Memorial Day, and I will talk to you guys next week. So take care. Hello, my lady. I wrote a book and I would love for you to read it. It's called The Not Enough Wife, and you can get it on Amazon today. This book is for any woman who has ever felt like she wasn't enough, not enough as a wife or as a mom, if she didn't have Instagram-worthy enough pictures, if she didn't throw Pinterest-worthy parties, if she ever felt like she was not enough, this is the book for her, and it's for you too. So go to Amazon today, go search up The Not Enough Wife by Jolene Wynn, and grab a copy for yourself and for all the women in your life. I hope you love it, and I can't wait to hear what you think.